So let's talk about miracles. What even is one? Is it some big, flashy public spectacle, something proven with blood and sacrifice? Or is it something else entirely? Something quiet, personal, a transformation of the soul? That's what we're digging into today, these two totally different ways of understanding truth. We've got the path of the martyr, and then we've got the path of the philosopher.
Okay, so let's kick things off with the view most of us are probably familiar with, the miracle of a saint, right? It's always presented as this divine signal from on high. But, and this is the key part, look at who it's for, those who would escape the earth. Think about that for a second. This isn't a miracle that's celebrating life. It's basically an exit sign, a way out.
And boom, right there, you see the core of the whole argument. On one hand, you've got the martyr's miracle, which is all about finding a divine escape route from all the mess and chaos of life. But on the other hand, you have the philosopher's miracle, which is about finding a beautiful, personal meaning right in the middle of that chaos. One flees the world, the other dives in headfirst.
All right, Section 1, the martyr's spectacle. Let's really unpack this first idea, this concept of proving truth with a corpse. The central idea we're going to explore here is that maybe, just maybe, this kind of miracle has less to do with God and a lot more to do with a very human, very public performance.
Now, this is a pretty sharp critique, right? It's basically saying that the whole act of martyrdom isn't a sign of how strong a truth is, but actually how weak it is. I mean, think about it. If your truth was really that powerful, that self-evident, would you really need a corpse to prove it? Does a powerful idea need that kind of bloody PR?
So the whole thing gets reframed. It's not a sacred act anymore. It's pure theater, a calculated show, put on for an audience. And the martyr's death? That's the grand finale, the big shocker at the end of the play that's designed to hammer the message home, whether the audience likes it or not.
And here's the kicker, the performance actually backfires. By leaning so heavily on this gruesome spectacle, the martyr ends up poisoning their own doctrine. The method of proof, this big, public, bloody death, it completely overshadows and honestly contaminates the very truth it was supposed to make holy.
So you gotta ask, why does this even work? Why do people eat it up? Why does the audience love this sorrowful pantomime? Well, it's because it confirms what they already believe about their own weakness. It tells them, see, truth isn't about strength and joy, it's about suffering. It's basically a massive indictment of life itself. And that final, self-important condemnation from the martyr, it really resonates with anyone who already feels like life has beaten them down.
Okay, so we've just walked through this whole public spectacle of saying no to life. So that begs the question, what if there's another way, a completely different kind of miracle, one that's not about public display at all, but something radically, deeply personal?
And that brings us to Section 2, the philosopher's affirmation. We're talking about a total transformation of the soul here. This is a miracle that has nothing to do with blood and everything to do with what happens inside. See, this isn't about dying for a truth. It's about finding a truth that lets you finally, fully live.
I mean, just listen to that imagery. It's so powerful. The martyr's miracle is all about hot blood, spilled out for everyone to see. But the philosopher's, it's the exact opposite. It's this quiet, internal melting of a frozen soul. It's a thawing of the spirit. And what comes with that thaw isn't fear. It's this incredible, fearless belief in what's possible.
So what we're really talking about here is something that happens completely on the inside. It's a total shift in how you see the world. It's the ability to stare right into the chaos, the void of existence. And instead of backing away in fear, you find something beautiful in it. You find a kind of personal necessity that you can actually call your own.
And this right here is the emotional heart of it. The martyr's journey ends with this grand condemnation of life. But the philosopher's? It leads to this intoxicating joy. It's that feeling, that absolute thrill of waking up and genuinely believing in tomorrow. What a difference, right?
Okay, so this all leads to the big question, the final comparison. How do these two totally different paths actually prove their truth? What's the evidence they leave behind? A corpse or wisdom?
And this chart just lays it all out, crystal clear. For the martyr, it's all about the final act, fleeing the earth. And the proof? A corpse, a static thing. But for the philosopher, it's the total opposite. It's a first act, affirming the earth. And the proof isn't static, it's alive. It's a joyful wisdom.
And that, right there, is the whole ballgame. The philosopher's proof isn't some object you leave behind for other people to argue about.
No, it's a living, breathing thing inside you, a wisdom that comes from your own fire, your own experience. At the end of the day, it's a truth you live, not one you die for. So that leaves us with one last question, and this one's for you. Which miracle shapes your truth? Is your truth something that needs a grand public sacrifice to feel real? Or is it something you find in that quiet personal transformation? An affirmation of life that lets you embrace everything, the chaos, the beauty, the whole shebang.